Glory, glory, Manchester United. Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of this podcast. And in this episode, we'll be reading through the blog post just to see what the vloggers are saying about our team. Now, there's a post that says Manchester United will not let Dean Henderson leave in January. Yes! Do not leave. You are going nowhere, brother. It said Manchester United interim manager Ralf Rangnick has confirmed that the club will not let Dean Henderson leave in January, not even on loan. Henderson has barely featured for the Red Devils this season, making just 2 appearances in all competitions from how the 2020-21 campaign ended. The goalkeeper had been threatening to usurp David De Gea as number 1, enjoying an extended run in the side under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the spring. However, De Gea has been in top form this season and shows little sign of relinquishing the gloves, provided he remains injury-free. As 90 Minutes reported back in November, Henderson asked the club for a transfer as he sought regular first-team football. United initially seemed willing to let the 24-year-old leave on a long-term loan while still ruling out a permanent departure. But 90 Minutes now understands that United will no longer even sanction a temporary move. Rangnick confirmed TalkSport on Monday night that Henderson asked to leave Old Trafford 2 weeks ago and was denied, with nothing changing since then. He gets extremely settled in Manchester, having first arrived over 10 years ago and is one of the club's highest paid players. It is understood that he would be willing to see out the remainder of his career with the Red Devils should the opportunity arise. Due to this, Henderson's desire to leave is unlikely to abate anytime soon. In the past, Borussia Dortmund and newly moneyed Newcastle have both been linked with the player. Henderson has impressed when handed playing time in the past, first excelling on loan at Sheffield United during their fantastic 2019-2020 campaign before pushing the gear hard last season. Well, bottom line is, I'm glad Henderson is not leaving for anything, for loan or for transfer, man. We need to keep quality, we need to just keep this quality, work with the quality for a while. We are going to get trophy very soon. I can smell trophy. I smell trophy. Don't you smell trophy? I smell trophy. Another blog post here says Cole says Greenwood should be United's first choice centre forward. Let's dive in. It says Paul Scholes is frustrated with Ralf Rangnick's use of Mason Greenwood at Manchester United. Scholes told Webby and O'Neill's YouTube channel that he thinks Greenwood should be starting as a centre striker every week for United. Greenwood was subbed off at half-time with United 1-0 down against Newcastle on 27 December and was the first player replaced in the loss to Wolves. That decision did not go down well with some sections of Old Trafford, although Greenwood did last the full 90 minutes against Aston Villa last night. Mason Greenwood is a brilliant player, great potential. The manager keeps taking him off. He's almost become a little bit of a scapegoat, a little bit of an easy target because he's a young player, said Scholes. Probably we're not getting results. It's want to just keep the big players, remove the younger ones, and just keep replacing the younger ones. Maybe he should be playing up front for this team, as good as Cristiano Ronaldo and Edinson Cavani are and have been throughout their careers. For Manchester United central forwards to be 37 and 34 just tells us where the club is at. Greenwood has to be playing now, because 37 and 34 won't play for a very long time. Those guys cannot even play for the next 7 years. It's not possible. But Greenwood, we still have this guy for 10 years. So he needs to just grow that confidence right now. He can be the next Ronaldo, can be our beast, can be our savior. We don't know. Greenwood has to be playing now and in the future. He's a highly talented lad, and I'm frustrated when I watch him because he's going to be the first man of every single game. He's being shoved out in those wide areas. This lad is an out and out centre forward. He will score goals in this team, no doubt about that. 100%, I believe that also. Scholes has suggested playing Greenwood up front instead of Ronaldo, but of course that would give Rangnick a huge problem in terms of how to use the Portuguese superstar. Yeah, I said that in the previous episode also. Greenwood needs to be started more. I said, I love the way Ronaldo wasn't started in the Aston Villa games, and I would love to see that more. And Scholes is actually saying the same thing here. His comment about Greenwood also underlined the risks United took when bringing Ronaldo back to the club in terms of stunting the development of young players such as Greenwood. Well, in my opinion, I just feel Ronaldo also needs to be played, because why did we buy him then? We bought a superstar for what? Not for the bench, at least for the pitch. So, but the thing is, probably there should be a way of like switching these players in between games that will actually give almost all of them an average amount of playing time. Greenwood played as the central striker in 2 of United's 3 league games before Ronaldo returned, but was pushed back out to the right by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thereafter before Rangnick followed suit. We have never seen Greenwood given a real run in the side through the middle to see if he could handle the physicality of it. And the presence of 2 high-earning experienced strikers, Ronaldo and Cavani, means that it is unlikely to happen anytime soon unless there are injuries. Greenwood does not look like he's at full confidence right now, and his shots against Villa were generally lacking power and straight down Emi Martinez's throat. That is something Rangnick will look to change. And it's fair to say Greenwood's form has tailed off since he set up then scored the first 2 goals of the Germans' Old Trafford reign. Well, in my opinion, I just think Greenwood should just be given an average playing time. For now though, since we still have all these stars, because what are we going to be using them for then? Are they going to be bench warmers? No, I don't think so. Now I see this blog post and man, this make me laugh so hard, so I'm going to read it out. He said, Rio Ferdinand claims he would be embarrassed if he was Maguire after seeing teammates display. Yo man, how would he not be embarrassed considering the bullshit game he's playing and we are calling him our skipper? How is that our skipper? God is playing, man. Now let's dive in. It says Rio Ferdinand has claimed he would be embarrassed if he was in Harry Maguire's position after a returning Phil Jones produced a solid performance in his absence. Yeah, Jones, who has been out for like 2 years now, got back and got everybody praising him. In the latest Vibe with 5 podcast, the topic of discussion focused around the Mail's report that up to 17 Manchester United were currently unhappy. Rio Ferdinand felt that the likes of United's club captain Maguire would be unhappy, but that would be down to his own form. The podcast touched upon John's impressive return to action against Wolves last week, which was his first senior appearance for the Reds for nearly 2 years. United's number 4 was visibly emotional at the final whistle, which showed how much the return meant to him after a long period in the wilderness. Oh, wilderness. Wilderness of not playing football, yo. Man, I love this guy's back. I love the way this guy is back, Jones. Giving us the confidence that we have a lot of defenders in our Arsenal now. Speaking about Jones' commitment and desire, Ferdinand said a lot of people talked about whether it really means anything to the players, but that little scene when Phil Jones finished the game and heard the fans appreciating the performance after what he has been through, clapping him off and singing his name, it made him well up, and there were tears. Wow, that emotion that came out shows the hard graft and yards that went in behind the scenes, which we weren't privy to, and we did call him out at times because we weren't aware of the situation. Jones came back to the side against Bruno's Lakes team alongside Rafa Varane due to Maguire being ruled out with a chest injury. There were no sign of rustiness from Jones, who looked like he hadn't been away, seemingly slotting into the heart of United's defense and was arguably our best player. In contrast, Maguire has struggled for form and consistency this season since returning from the European Championships after being signed for a world record £80 million. Ferdinand was asked how he would feel being in Maguire's position after seeing Jones display in his absence, and there's not been a noticeable difference in performance levels between the pair. Ferdinand said, I would be embarrassed. I've got to be honest, you would. The former United centre-back felt that Jones' return couldn't be compared to when he made his return to the side following a drugs ban. Ferdinand added, I wasn't injured. I trained and worked harder than at any other time during my career. In the 2 years, Jones hasn't really trained and he's been injured. When Phil Jones started training a few months ago, Bruno Fernandes said that's the first time he's seen him on the grass since he joined the club. Wow. But Jones is a very super player also. He comes up to this kind of crazy defensive save and it's very lovely to see on the pitch also. We're grateful he's back, and well, Maguire, we need Maguire on the bench for a very long time. Probably will sell him out just to reduce the load and give our players another kind of mentality and look to the game. Well, that's the end of this blog post and the end of this episode. See you guys in the next episode, and until then, remain red and forever remain red.